I asked all three of them to do it, and I was thrilled when they actually showed up. For the longest time, I had put everything off. Life got in the way, as it usually does. Between work, raising two teenagers, and managing a home on my own after my divorce, I'd been in survival mode. Everything that didn't scream urgent got shoved to the side. My name is Valerie Turner, and for the past 2 years, I've been juggling life as a newly single mom in the suburbs of Ohio. The house was beginning to reflect the chaos in my head. The walls were chipped, the gutters were clogged, the garage looked like a scene from a hoarder reality show, and I couldn't even remember the last time I sat down to relax. I kept telling myself I'd get to it eventually, but eventually never came. It was on a random Tuesday, after I spilled coffee all over a stack of unpaid bills on the kitchen counter, that I finally broke. Not in a dramatic, sobbing on the floor kind of way, but a quiet, resigned sigh. I realized I couldn't do it alone anymore. I had people around me, people who cared, but I was too stubborn to ask for help. That morning, I sent 3 texts. One to my younger brother, Matt, who had always been the handyman of the family. One to my best friend, Emily, who had the kind of energy that made any task feel like a party. And one to my next-door neighbor, Josh, who was calm, dependable, and always offered to help me with anything around the house. I kept the message short and sweet. Hey, would you guys be willing to help me fix some stuff around the house this weekend? I could really use the support. I expected 1 or 2 polite declines. After all, they had lives. But to my surprise, all 3 of them responded almost instantly. Count me in, Matt wrote. Emily replied with a gif of someone dancing with cleaning supplies. And Josh, ever the steady one, just said, I'll bring my tools. Saturday arrived, and I woke up feeling something I hadn't felt in months: anticipation. I spent the morning tidying up a little, mostly out of embarrassment, but I reminded myself they were here to help, not judge. Right on time, Matt pulled into the driveway in his truck, loaded with tools. Emily followed shortly after, music blasting from her car, and Josh walked over with a coffee in hand and a toolbox in the other. Seeing the 3 of them together on my porch felt surreal. These were people who had been part of my life for years, but we'd never all been in the same place for the same purpose. I opened the door with a grateful smile and waved them inside. I made a list, I said nervously, handing Matt a piece of paper with a dozen items scribbled on it. You guys really don't have to do everything, just whatever you can manage. Matt glanced over the list and gave a low whistle. You weren't kidding. But we've got this. Emily clapped her hands. Let's turn this house around. Where do we start? Josh gave a small nod. Let's hit the living room first. Those shelves look like they're ready to fall. That's how it began. We tackled the living room first. Matt started patching the holes in the wall from an old shelving unit I had taken down months ago, but never fixed. Josh replaced a faulty outlet near the couch, and Emily took on the windows, scrubbing them until sunlight poured in like it was welcoming us back. We laughed the entire time. Matt teased Emily for her wild cleaning dance moves. Josh kept the mood light with his dry humor, and I kept catching myself smiling for no reason at all. Just being with them, hearing the chatter and the clinking of tools, made the house feel alive again. By noon, we were sweaty and hungry, so I whipped up a quick lunch of grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup. We sat on the back porch with our plates, looking out over the overgrown lawn. You know, Emily said, sipping her drink, this place has so much charm. It just needs a little love. Yeah, it's got good bones, Matt added. Kind of like you, Val. I rolled my eyes and laughed. Thanks, I think. After lunch, we tackled the garage. I'd avoided that space for months. It had become a dumping ground for everything I didn't want to deal with. Old boxes from the move, and used holiday decorations, tools from my ex-husband, and random items the kids had outgrown. The garage overwhelmed me. I froze at the doorway, staring at the mess. Hey, Josh said gently. We'll take it slow. You don't have to do this alone. Emily put a hand on my shoulder. Let's do it together. So we did. Matt cleared a corner to sort the tools. Emily made donation and trash piles. Josh built new shelving against the back wall to organize everything. As I went through the boxes, memories spilled out, Photos from our family vacations, baby clothes from when my kids were toddlers, old birthday cards I had forgotten I saved. Some made me smile. Some made me tear up. But I wasn't alone this time. By the time we finished, the garage had transformed. It wasn't just clean, it was usable. I could finally park my car inside again. I stood in the doorway, hands on my hips, looking at the results with a stunned expression. This looks amazing, I said. Josh gave a proud nod. You did most of it. I couldn't have done any of it without you, I admitted. Emily nudged me. You just had to ask Val. We're here for you. We ended the day in the backyard. Matt lit the fire pit we hadn't used in years. I brought out marshmallows, chocolate, and graham crackers. The kids came outside too, curious about the noise and the smell of roasted treats. They joined in the laughter, toasting marshmallows, making messy s'mores, and telling stories from school. As the fire crackled and the stars came out, I looked around at the faces lit by flickering light. My brother, my best friend, my neighbor, my children. A sense of peace settled over me that I hadn't felt in ages. I asked all three of them to do it, just help me fix up a house that had been falling apart. But what they really did was help me put the pieces of myself back together. They reminded me that I didn't have to be strong all the time, that it was okay to ask for help, that sometimes showing up for someone is the greatest gift you can give. That night, after everyone left and the kids went to bed, I stood in the living room and turned in a slow circle, taking it all in. The patched walls, the rearranged furniture, the soft glow from the new light fixture Josh had installed. It all felt new again. Fresh. I sat on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, and closed my eyes. I wasn't just thrilled because the to-do list was shorter. I was thrilled because I remembered what connection felt like. I remembered what community meant. And I remembered that asking for help wasn't weakness. It was strength in its purest form. As I drifted off to sleep that night, I knew this was just the beginning. There would be more days like this. More projects. More shared meals. More laughter. Because I wasn't alone, not anymore. And for the first time in a long while, I looked forward to tomorrow.